NZT-48 claims to be the ultimate brain booster, but does it really work? Let's dive into the research and break it all down to see if NZT-48 is really what it claims to be. A major problem with supplements like NZT-48, which market themselves as cutting edge with state-of-the-art ingredients, is the lack of solid evidence supporting the claimed benefits. Many of these quote cutting edge ingredients rely on theoretical studies conducted on cells and animals, not actual humans. While they offer valuable insights, they're insufficient proof of benefits in humans. Human clinical trials are essential to establish safety and efficacy, providing direct evidence of real benefits and potential risks. Furthermore, for supplements that have shown promise in improving cognitive function, the research often focuses on individuals with cognitive problems like Alzheimer's disease or dementia, not healthy individuals. Think of it like antibiotics. They can treat bacterial infections and help to heal sick individuals, but taking them without an infection isn't going to enhance your health any further. Similarly, many cognitive supplements may be beneficial for specific cognitive conditions and are better at addressing deficits rather than enhancing brain function in generally healthy individuals. Another issue with supplements like NZT-48, which cram like a million ingredients into their formula, is the dilution effect. Each capsule of NZT-48 contains 750 milligrams in total. With 23 listed ingredients in their proprietary blend, that averages out to a mere 32 milligrams per ingredient, a tiny amount. Of course, they won't actually have the same quantity, but quantity matters in supplements. Inadequate doses lead to suboptimal results or just no noticeable effects. Taking a supplement with a dosage well below the recommended level, even if it's known to be beneficial, won't be beneficial. So how do we determine what the recommended level is for supplements? Well, we turn to the research, examining human trials on these supplements to identify doses that demonstrate benefits. This is yet another reason why we need human clinical trials to back the use of supplements. So when we analyze the ingredients in NZT-48, you'll find that these common problems consistently emerge, raising questions about its true efficacy. Alpha-GPC, a type of choline, is an essential nutrient naturally found in some foods such as eggs. While there is evidence that alpha-GPC could enhance cognitive function in Alzheimer's patients, the positive effects were observed at doses of 1,200 milligrams daily for up to 6 months, far beyond what NZT-48 provides, and specifically in individuals with Alzheimer's, not healthy individuals. The notion that alpha-GPC might boost cognition in healthy adults stems from the idea that it serves as a precursor to acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter. Advocates suggest that consistent use of alpha-GPC could raise acetylcholine levels in the brain, potentially benefiting cognitive functions. However, this idea lacks support from actual human trials, and there's no scientific evidence to substantiate this claim in those without Alzheimer's. In fact, prolonged use of alpha-GPC supplements has been associated with a significantly higher risk of stroke. So unless you have a specific reason, such as Alzheimer's, to take it, it's probably a good idea to avoid using alpha-GPC. EGCG found in green tea and its extracts may slightly improve cognitive function when combined with caffeine, although some studies show no clear benefits. To see modest improvements, doses of around 100 to 200 milligrams are needed, equivalent to roughly 1 to 2 cups of green tea. Caffeine and guarana, essentially another source of caffeine, are known for boosting mental alertness and enhancing cognitive performance. The caffeine in NZT-48 is likely responsible for most, if not all, of its cognitive effects. However, the exact amount of caffeine in NZT-48 is unclear, making it a bit riskier to use, especially for those sensitive to caffeine's potential side effects. While 5-HTP, ashwagandha, and rhodiola have demonstrated benefits in mood improvement, such as managing stress, depression, or anxiety, there's no human evidence suggesting they can enhance cognition. Additionally, the doses used in studies are in the several hundreds of milligrams per day, which is much higher than what NZT-48 contains. Theobromine, found in dark chocolate and coca extracts, has conflicting research regarding its impact on cognitive function in healthy adults. In older adults, coca doesn't appear to boost cognition. In younger adults, it shows some improvement in certain cognitive measures, but the effective doses in these studies range from 500 to 900 milligrams per day, significantly higher than what NZT-48 likely offers. Benfotiamine, a fat-soluble form of vitamin B1, along with the B vitamins like B6, B12, and folic acid, plays vital roles in brain health. However, studies consistently reveal that supplementing with these vitamins doesn't noticeably affect cognitive function. The widely held belief that vitamin B12 enhances cognitive function has long been debunked by the research, showing no cognitive improvements in healthy adults with B12 supplementation. Phenylalanine, an amino acid, has been studied for its potential cognitive benefits in ADHD, but research suggests no advantages over a placebo. Research suggests that taking Acetyl-L-Carnitine may enhance certain aspects of cognitive function and memory in elderly individuals experiencing age-related cognitive decline. However, the positive effects observed were at doses of 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams daily for a period of 3 months, specifically in elderly patients with cognitive deficits, not in healthy adults. N-acetyl-L-Tyrosine, a more soluble form of L-tyrosine, and L-Theanine are amino acids that actually show decent potential for improving cognitive function, especially in individuals facing stress or anxiety. They're often combined with caffeine, although it's unclear if adding L-Theanine enhances cognitive performance beyond caffeine alone. The effective doses, particularly for tyrosine, are quite high, likely exceeding what NZT-48 provides. Gingko biloba is often studied for its use in enhancing cognition in patients with conditions like dementia. It has also shown potential benefits for cognitive function in healthy adults. However, the doses studied range from 240 to 360 milligrams, likely surpassing what NZT-48 provides. Additionally, these studies often utilize specialized or standardized extracts like GK501 or EGB761, whereas NZT-48 relies on generic ginkgo extracts. Derived from the herb Bacopa moneri, Bacopaside is a compound with some evidence suggesting it could enhance certain cognitive measures in healthy adults, although the data is conflicting. Nevertheless, the doses studied in healthy adults are in the hundreds of milligrams per day, likely exceeding what NZT-48 provides. NADH, a coenzyme involved in various body reactions, lacks any human trials supporting its use to enhance cognitive function in healthy adults. As a crucial building block for nerve cells, Phosphatidylserine shows promise in addressing age-related cognitive decline. Studies with individuals experiencing cognitive decline indicate that taking 100 milligrams of phosphatidylserine 3 times daily for up to 6 months may improve various cognitive functions. However, the cognitive benefits of phosphatidylserine for healthy individuals remain uncertain. Uridine-5 Monophosphate is one of the several nucleotide supplements with mainly theoretical evidence for health benefits, but lacks solid human trials. Also known as cowhage, Mucuna pruriens is a traditional Ayurvedic herb with weak evidence supporting its use in Parkinson's disease due to its high L-dopa content. However, there's no evidence suggesting its usefulness for cognition. Rauwolscine hasn't shown any evidence of being helpful for cognitive function. What's more, it may not be safe to use, and Health Canada has banned it as a supplement ingredient. Huperzine A, derived from plants like Chinese club moss, is known as an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. In simpler terms, it blocks an enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine, leading to increased levels of acetylcholine in the brain. This boost in acetylcholine may enhance communication between neurons, potentially benefiting cognitive processes. In Alzheimer's disease, Huperzine A has shown promise in improving memory, cognitive function, and behavior. It's actually commonly used in China for treating this condition. However, when it comes to healthy adults, Huperzine A likely doesn't have much impact on cognition. Additionally, the use of acetylcholinesterase inhibitors like Huperzine A doesn't seem to offer significant benefits for individuals without Alzheimer's disease. So let's break down what we've discussed here. First, let's eliminate ingredients with no evidence supporting cognitive improvement. These are likely added to just fill out the ingredient list, as there's no sound scientific backing. Next, let's remove ingredients that, despite having some research related to cognition, haven't shown any real benefits. They're no more effective than a placebo. Now, identify ingredients helpful for mood, but not likely to boost cognitive performance directly. Moving on, recognize ingredients with benefits for cognitive performance, but mainly in individuals with cognitive issues like dementia. These may not be very useful for those who are healthy. Now, identify ingredients that have shown possible cognitive benefits for healthy individuals and assess the strength of their evidence. Finally, we eliminate all ingredients that likely use doses that are too low to provide any benefit. This leads us to 3 potentially useful ingredients: caffeine and guarana, of which we don't have an exact dose; EGCG, of which I'm being quite generous here because the realistic dose of green tea for significant benefits is quite high; and Huperzine A. Among these, only caffeine and EGCG provide benefits for healthy adults. The remaining ingredients either do not benefit cognition in healthy adults or have doses that are too low to do anything. So let's assess the effectiveness of NZT-48 on improving cognitive function. Is it truly the ultimate brain booster? I'd say it's likely similar to having a cup or two of coffee or green tea. For healthy adults, it's probably not significantly more effective than taking a combination of caffeine and a green tea extract. If you're dealing with Alzheimer's disease, the additional Huperzine A could potentially offer some benefits. The major issue with NZT-48 isn't necessarily the choice of ingredients. Many of the ingredients aren't bad for a brain-boosting supplement, and there's evidence supporting their use. The real problem is that NZT-48 has tried to cram almost every possible ingredient they could think of into one pill. This approach makes it nearly impossible to get a therapeutic dose of nearly all of them. As a result, we have a supplement that is only able to provide therapeutic doses of caffeine, Huperzine A, and possibly EGCG. NZT-48 is selling for around $60 a month. If I want to replicate its effects in a more safer and probably more effective way, I would combine caffeine, green tea extract, and Huperzine A. Generic caffeine is $1 to $2 a month. A good quality EGCG extract is $3 to $5 a month. Huperzine A is around $4 to $6 a month, although you could likely skip this ingredient if you don't suffer from Alzheimer's. So getting all the ingredients individually will cost around $8 to $13 a month. Rating NZT by effectiveness for improving cognition, I'm giving it a C. It'll functionally be about as good as drinking a cup of coffee or green tea. Rating it by cost, I'm giving it a D. It can be essentially replicated at a much cheaper cost by getting the generic ingredients individually. Rating it for safety, I'm giving it a D. There are a number of ingredients that have the potential to interfere with medications, and because they mix in so many of them, it's hard to fully untangle all the possible side effects. Overall rating, I'm giving a D. I would not recommend it at all. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date and share this video with someone you know can use the info.